lighter hair, isn't it? I think this is the first update I've done recorded for this video, so the weigh-in is going to be the first one. This is the 4th weigh-in. So last week I weighed 17 stone and 11 pounds. This is the first full week where I've been calorie counting, and my exercising has continued. So I'm hoping that I might have lost a little bit, but conversely I won't be too surprised if not, because I did go on a food tour of London on Sunday. So let's see. I mean, near as I can tell, I've been doing well with the food. I've been staying under calories most days. I did go over maybe 1 or 2 days, but even then it wasn't shockingly over. But it's also the quality of the food, I don't know. So I had a lot of fatty and sweet foods on Sunday, so let's see. 17.9. Probably convert it all to muscle though, won't I? So I'll take that. So yeah guys, now that I'm awake, refreshed, I can speak a little bit more freely and openly and with a better, stronger voice. So yeah, I lost 2 pounds this week. Pretty happy with that. And like I say, I've been calorie counting for the last week, so it's, well, the last probably 10 days or so I've been calorie counting, and it's going really well. I'm not really limiting myself that much. I am still, if I'm hungry, I'm making sure I'm eating. I have gone over several days, to be fair. I think basically my body needs, I thought it said online 2,600 to maintain the same weight. I think it might be a little bit less than that. I reckon it's probably around 2,300. But my aim for calories each day is 1,850. And the app that I'm using is Samsung Health. So the next thing I want to talk about is the tools that are the tools that are so helpful on this journey. And there's several. So Samsung Health I personally find really really good. It does track your steps, which is useful. It shows when you've been exercising, your active time. It's where I register my food, so you can choose what you have in. It's already got loads of stuff pre-registered, otherwise you can just put in your own calorie count. So it's really easy. It's obviously more difficult when the food that you're buying doesn't have nutritional information readily available, such as when we went to London. If I tap on food, go to trends, you can see like whether I've been under or over my 1,850 each day. And on Sunday, I think I was probably roughly 2,400, which is obviously over, but put it into perspective a little bit. This week I had the new McDonald's bacon roll. That's fast food. I actually had McDonald's salad on the same day, so technically I had fast food twice that day. I had a portion of ice cream from a local ice cream restaurant that works. All of that stuff on London, which included crispy fruity cereal, deep fried chicken, like half of 2 burgers, donuts, what else? And I had a Subway. A few days ago. Now the interesting thing is that with all these fast food habits, I have looked into a little bit of changing. I think I might do either a separate video about the McDonald's nutrition calculator, or I'll cover it at a later point, but it definitely needs to be talked about on its own, because it's really good. You can add all these different things to your like meal and see how much it would be for you. Now back in my old gluttonous sort of not really health conscious days, I probably would have ordered, like, or it wouldn't have been surprising for me to have a large big tasty meal, share 20 chicken McNuggets, so have 10 chicken McNuggets, and maybe some red Leicester cheese melts on the side, maybe share them, and that's something like 1,950 calories. A big tasty with bacon on its own is something like 850 calories. So that's just for the burger. And of course you could just have that from McDonald's, but you're more likely to have like the drink and the chips as well. Whereas I think what I'm going to do now with my order at McDonald's, so it was like nearly 2,000 calories. Whereas I think what I'm going to do now is maybe have a maybe a chicken McNugget Happy Meal maybe. So you're still getting chips, you're still satisfying that fast food urge, and maybe a plain double cheeseburger, and then that's like and a 0.0 sugar Coke, and you're like halving the calories, and you're still getting to enjoy the food. That's what I'm getting at. I've lost weight, but I've still enjoyed my food. No, I could push it even further and not have these mad days like Sunday. And maybe we'll see what happens in the coming days and weeks. But in terms of actual changes that I'm noticing, I'm not necessarily noticing the weight loss yet. I think it's the lack of exhaustion. I think usually on Sunday we did 11,000 steps, which is 5.5 miles. And a few weeks before that, still when I started my weight loss journey, we did 13,000 or 14,000 steps and 6.7 miles. And on neither of those days was I particularly tired. On Sunday I was definitely getting sort of weary, but my legs were not that bad at all. So that's one of the key differences I've noticed, is that my legs just aren't getting as tired as quickly. So I'm maybe going to start walking to work from next week. One of the things that has put me off walking to work in the past, because I did used to do it, is that I have overactive sweat glands, which means I get hot and sweaty really easily. So walking to work did get me hot and sweaty, so I needed to basically wear a t-shirt and then get changed at work, which is just a ball ache. I really don't want to do that. So on maybe Monday I might walk to work, maybe in my shirt, just see how I get on. We'll see, guys. I don't know yet. But yeah, sort of wanted to touch a little bit on the technology that's helping. I've got to go to work now, so I will touch upon the other technology and tools that have really helped in the next segment. I think this is only the second video I filmed this week for this update. It's the Sunday, so it's Sunday, some date in July, sort of roughly the 7th. I think it is the 7th actually. Just to put it in context. Yeah, did the Frog Buddies meet up on Friday? That went okay. Just ate little things. Don't think it went too badly. Haven't had that bad of a week. Have had takeaway a few times. So one of the things I changed was Subway. I normally go for your Italian BMTs, your meatball marinara, butter, like cheese, toasted, all that jazz. But I went for turkey and ham, which is one of their lighter ones, while still being meat. Put more salad in, so I did tomatoes, which I don't normally do, and light mayo, no cheese, which just, and also white bread rather than honey oat, which is usually what I go for. So I just went for all the lighter options, and apparently it was a lot less calories, so that's one thing. So you can still have the stuff you enjoy, and it's really nice. So right, I'm gonna go. It's like I said, it's Sunday, so I spoke a little bit last time about tools, like tech tools to use. So today I'm going to be using an app to track the run, and I'm going to listen to some music with these. So I'll turn the camera back on when I get back, which for you will be no time. I'll do one of those arsehole click finger transitions, but for me it will be like 15 minutes. Wanted to turn the camera on as soon as I got back, so stopped running probably 30 seconds ago, 45 seconds ago maybe. Yeah, it was good. I felt a bit of like mild aching on the old legs this time. Don't really know why that is. Not major anyway, nothing major. Yeah, so decent. And now starts the preparation, yeah. Always got to perspire. Should we zoom in? Probably could zoom in, to be fair. I know like some people find the whole sweating thing gross, but like I sort of find it fascinating. And that's a bit weird. But yeah, that's mental. I've caused that. Look at that on my nose. My nose was running a bit out there actually. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask. So I thought, take this away. I suffer from hay fever, but I'm never like, well, apart from today, where I was sniffling a little bit. I never really like need to sneeze or anything while I'm out there. Does exercise stop that from happening when you're outdoors? And now hit me, but yeah, as you can see, the cool down, it's probably about 2 minutes since I ran, and I'm now sort of out of breath, but not that bad. That's one of the fascinating things, where like you can see yourself getting fitter, or rather feel yourself getting fitter. I'll talk about what changes I can see physically maybe after the weigh-in on Wednesday. Whee! But I just feel like I'm getting worn out less easily, which is good. Like, yeah, so cheers. On to the next part of this. I don't know what that click was. On to the next part of this weight loss update journey thing. Whew, fuck me. Just went for my longest run then. I haven't even checked my app to see how far I actually went, but it was easily the furthest. It was probably something like 1.4 miles, 1.3, something around that range. Yeah, I definitely felt myself being slow. Pretty much the second half of that. Part of me wants to dip back into a mile one. Now that I've done several where I've been going further than a mile, part of me wants to dip back into the mile, see how much quicker I'd be, but I think it's more sensible just keep going with the longer distances, get slightly more comfortable with that, blah blah blah. Right, decent. Okay guys, so it's that time of the week, the weigh-in. So as you can see, this is what's happened so far. So I was 18, I basically think I was like 18.3 or 18.2 on the first day, probably 18.2. So I sort of lost 2 pounds, then I sort of lost 4, then I sort of lost 1. I think it's nearly a month into it after this one. Let's give it a go. Cool. So this is holding the camera as well, to be fair. I guess the others were as well though. 17.6. That's quite good, because it was a Frock Buddies meetup on Friday. So I had some snack foods then. Plus, I had Chinese on Saturday, and definitely had more than I should have done. It was still way less than normal. I didn't feel like sick afterwards. But yeah. Oh, this is so good how it's not focusing. Butter vision. Oh, this is ridiculous. Fudge now. Yeah, so basically when I get to 17.2, let's say I was 18.2 at the start. When I get to 17.2, which is in 4 pounds time, that'll be 1 stone. So that'll be pretty cool.